Okay, so I've been investigating this game genre presets even more because first someone told me, hey, even if you change the black and the white stabilizer to the default 10, the colors are changing. And I checked that out on SDR. I will analyze it on HDR to see what happens, what's going on. But not only that, more than one of you told me that the sharpness setting is behaving on a different way. And it is. And the difference is big, actually. So let me tell you what are my conclusions and what sharpness setting I would recommend. And this is actually very, very useful. Very, very good setting to have here. So, and I'm going to share with you other color settings, basically the setup that I have going on right now. And I think this works very well. This combination of settings that I'm going to share with you work very well, even with black frame insertion. So let me show you. Right now I have the sharpness slider on 15, okay? And this is the setting that I'm going to recommend for you. Sharpness slider on 15. So here's what happens. If you have if you have a standard, that sharpness slider on 15 is going to give you basically free anti-aliasing. It's gonna soften the image a little bit, but on a positive way. It's going to smooth out the edges based on my testing. That number is specifically 15. So basically no sharpness. It looks raw, it looks sharp. When you increase that sharpness slider in standard, I see that you're getting a little bit of anti-aliasing when you get to the 13, 14, 15. And then when you keep increasing it, then it becomes sharp again. So that 13, 14, 15 is like a point where you are getting a little bit of free anti-aliasing. But now, if you change this from standard to any of these other presets, you are getting sharpness instead. But it is a sharpness that, of course, is going to give you, it is going to be more likely to give you aliasing, but it looks good. It depends on the game, of course, and it depends on the anti-aliasing implementation. But most of the games that we have today, they have TAA, temporal anti-aliasing, and the image looks soft. So I think this is actually a very good thing to try. Just open the game and put that slider, that sharpness slider, put it on 15, and then go back and forth from standard to FPS and see which one. And of course, get close to the screen so you can notice the difference. Look for a fence or a line, something that's very detailed and fine detail. And then go back and forth from standard to FPS, and you will see, of course, you will see the color difference. You get a more colorful picture, and I'm going to share the settings, but also the sharpness difference. And I like it. Actually, I like it. I think it's a very good option. The sharpness slider is actually being, it seems like it is being more aggressive, and I like it. It looks very good. So let me share with you the set of settings that I have right now going on and explain you a little bit why. So of course I'm using black frame insertion with the 22-point calibration, but I'm going to share with you the color settings that I adjusted with these presets, because these presets are more colorful and you have to be careful to not clip the colors, okay? So All Emotion Pro High is what I use for most of the games, especially when the HDR is kind of broken, like in this game. It is broken completely. I mean, black level rays, the sliders, they don't do what they tell you. It's like the whites are washed out. It's just terrible. This is a game that should have like an incredible HDR, like the best ever, because of the city and the colorful lights, but it's a mess. They did a terrible job here. So I have these settings, 50 or 51. 51 here is going to give you some near black chrominance overshoot when you do the 22-point calibration. That's invisible. You need a little bit more visibility. It's okay. And I fixed the near black chrominance overshoot with a small adjustment on the 22-point calibration. So then I'm using this max out brightness, peak brightness high, contrast on 85, very important. To not clip the colors when using this preset. Gamma 2.2, then I am using on the colors, color depth 53. So basically, you can use it on 54, it's okay, but just to make sure you're not clipping colors, 53 I think is the perfect value there, to make sure that you're not losing details, that the colors are not being clipped. And I tested that with multiple color clipping patterns. And then warm 50, and let me show you the 22-point calibration that I have here, which I shared with you before, but if you haven't seen it, signal level 30%. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to increase the visibility near black. You're not gonna see this near black test pattern here, but you get the idea. So what I'm gonna do here is select 22-point calibration, signal level 30%, and give that one click on the brightness. Then 25, 2 clicks on the brightness. Then 20, 3 clicks. 15, 5 clicks. 10, 9 clicks, or 8. It will be better 8, but on my panel 9 was the better value. It just depends on the TV, but I would recommend you to try 8 better for your panel. Like a more general recommendation would be 8. 7.5, 11, 5, 14, 2.5, 17. And here on the 2.5, I also increase the green 2 clicks to prevent that near black chrominance overshoot that I see when I combine that 22-point calibration with increasing this screen brightness to 51. But that's particularly to my panel. But the person who shared with me the gradients and the test patterns that I'm sharing with you on every single video now, I'm gonna have the link in the description of this video. It's basically my Google Drive with these test patterns. The person who created those test patterns, the user called a cynical creator, he has an LG CX, and he commented that when he did the 22-point calibration, he was experiencing the same thing, some near black chrominance overshoot when increasing this screen brightness and using the 22-point calibration at the same time. So it might happen, but we're talking about a detail that you cannot see in real content. It's like not a big deal, not a problem, and it's better just to have that extra visibility. I also tested with these settings because some of you mentioned that even without the black or the white stabilizer, some of these settings like FPS, they were giving you better visibility near black. Not that I can see. I tested with near black test patterns in game, no difference. I couldn't see any difference. Okay, so I do not doubt that you can see a difference, because when you are using these settings, the color saturation is going up. So when you are increasing the color saturation, you are also increasing the visibility. Okay, near black is like that 22-point calibration. If I increase red, green, and blue, I turn it up, I do see better on near black. But yeah, it is not making a change. It's not changing the near black visibility. I wish it was without watching the picture, but I don't see that change happening. So I'm going to also see what's going on HDR with these presets. But for now, this combination of settings that I share with you, it works very well. It works very well, and this is going to work for the PC, for the console, you know, whatever you're using. This is our SDR settings basically. But let's see what happened on HDR. On HDR, we always have more tweakings and more things that are going on. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't tested this on HDR yet. I will, and see what happened with the colors. Yeah, I will leave that for another video in the conclusions for another video. So yeah, let me know if you have any other secrets or things that are happening when using these presets. I mean, it is crazy that we are still discovering new things almost daily I've been I've been analyzing this LG C1 for almost a year, and it is incredible how many things we can do with this LG C1 to fine-tune the picture. It's endless. Endless. It seems simple, but this TV, I think this TV is, with all the issues that it has, because it has a lot of issues that I have, you know, talked about, even firmware updates, recommendations and stuff. But this TV is a marvel of engineering. I mean, it has so many options, so many things that you can do, and that I'm not even aware of yet. And I keep learning new things every day. So yeah, it is fantastic. And also, yeah, thanks to you, because I am not, you know, I'm not the smartest guy in the room. There are a lot of people that watch my video, they know a lot more than me. And most of the things that I know, I've learned it from you. You're telling me, hey, test this, test that. I see this difference. I see this happening. And we all learn, basically. I do a video like this. You tell me, hey, I see this, there are other changes happening. And then I test it, and then I do another video. Now we know better, see? So I think it is, we have a great community. I like it. And I use what I learned to improve my gaming experience every day. And I think it is also very important to focus more. I think that the internet needs a little bit of this. This community, this AV community needs a little bit more of that, which is basically focus more in getting the best out of what you already have, instead of thinking about buying new things. For example, I purchased this microphone, which is a $1,300 reference microphone. I haven't used it yet. I tried to use it a couple times to make videos, and I haven't figured out the OBS settings. So I'm just using the microphone from my camera. So I have a $13 microphone here doing nothing. Okay, so it is better to figure out how to get the most out of what you already have, that think all the time in buying a new thing, and that's gonna give you the best experience ever. Because you can have the best TV in the world, but the games are messed up. If the games have the black level raised, the picture looks terrible. It doesn't matter if you have a reference monitor, it's gonna look terrible too. So yeah, I think we need a lot more of that. Basically, more focus in getting the best out of what we already have than just buying new stuff, because I see that my experience with this TV is improving by the day without buying a new TV, without buying a new GPU, okay, without buying anything. I'm just getting a better and better and better results every single day. And I share that with you because that also helps me to learn more and get an even better result. So yeah, I like it. I do this because I like it, and I like to get into it. So let me know your thoughts and opinions, and if you have any questions.